Thank you, Mr. Kum. You said it all in your introductory statement. We have received all sorts of international observers, international authorities who've come here to visit the Cameroon government and have a first-hand appraisal of the situation, but nothing has changed. And why is that? Nothing has changed because so long as the political will is not there, nothing will change. And you see, we come back to your question: what is it that should be done that has not been done? What is to be done is that we have to do everything to change that political will, because basically, as things stand, we are on our own. The government in Yaoundé is bent on the military solution, which all of us have seen that does not work. The military solution is not workable and can never work, because what we have on the table is a political crisis. So you cannot solve it with by the use of the army. So what is to be done that has not been done is to unseat this government, and for us to reach that position, everybody has to go and register on the electoral register, get a voter's card, so that come election day we unseat this party that has been putting us into trouble for 41 years, 42 going, and they have no solution, and they seem to be happy with what is going on. Despite all the cries, they don't seem to be shaken by the bloodshed nor by the destruction. You can imagine, you're talking of 4 people in the last few days. That certainly does not include those who were killed on the Kumbaboya Road 2 days ago, where heavy shooting was reported. It does not include those who were killed in Nkambe, and it certainly does not include those who have those other killings that have not been reported. You see, this is really a gruesome account of what is happening in this country, and we think that it is time for this country to be handed over to a party that is willing to put up a government that can solve the crisis, that can bring this war to an end, and put Cameroon back on the path of prosperity. Because we are now crying of hikes in prices of fuel, electricity, shortage and all that, hyperinflation. We have to put in place a government that will tackle all that, and there is no other person but Reform Party that has a plan of action that will bring an end to corruption, an end to unemployment by creating jobs from our own means. Now you look at what CPDM is doing with energy. They go spending huge sums of monies on white elephant projects. 500 million for Nakchiga, 300 for Mvele, to have how much? When we have Menchum 4 there, that does not require up to 5 billion. 5 billion to harness.
Now let's get back to the topic proper. Barrister, you say it is an issue of political will. Political will by who?
The government in place hasn't got that political will to stop this crisis.
Yeah. Now you are asking Cameroonians to vote,
to know that we are on our own.
To register.
Let them register
massively and then vote Reform Party.
Vote Reform Party, so that we bring this thing to an end and put this country back.
How would you do that?
How would I do that?
Yeah.
Now, if you start by registering massively, you are going to combat voter apathy that has been the root.
Assume that you are the president today. You've already won. How will you solve the problem?
Oh, that's simple. I have been saying it on this platform. Let us bring Cameroonians on the table. This is a national issue that should be discussed. The form of the state has to be visited. The state we have now is a failed state. It was supposed to be constructed in 1961. It failed. Instead of applying section 5 of 1608, these people went to the Parliament of the Republic of Cameroon and went and enacted a federal constitution in which the Southern Cameroonians did not participate, and that has been the origin of this trouble. You see, so we should come to the table, put everything on the table, and look at ourselves in the faces. We had 2 states. Why are we having one now and having problems everywhere? Are we satisfied with what we have? Now, the Anglophones had tasted democracy, that tasted a better way of management, and that is why they find it today very offensive that one person, I mean, over centralization. Due to over centralization, all the money that we carry to Yaoundé, who are people who are friends of the regime, swindle everything, and the masses are left to suffer.
Is it an issue of bad governance or an issue of Anglophones?
It is an issue of, you see, if the original arrangements in 1961 were respected, we would not be there.
You mean Anglophones are embezzled?
I say if the original, if you can tell me how much was embezzled by the Foncha government, I will be ready to follow you. Because
you mean all the municipalities?
You cannot give me.
You're saying that all the municipalities in the northwest and southwest.
Excuse me, sir, Mr. Kum.
Yeah, because they're managed by Anglophones.
Those what you are calling municipalities, they are working under the rules set up by the Yaoundé regime.
Mr.
So if you give me an example of how much was embezzled by Foncha, by Jua, I will follow you.
Okay.
But I tell you that nothing was embezzled by those people.
So the Cameroon Bank had no issues.
You know the province of Cameroon Bank. It was closed here in Douala. They transferred the headquarters to Douala and closed it. You know it. It was that immeuble Asudani here in Aqua. That's where they closed it.
Okay.
I think so. Don't yet Twitter pardon talk. Barrister Ashu, he talked on some crucial issues, and there was one question I was hoping he will answer, and he answered the question. And what was that question? How will you solve the problem? That is a question where many people will not answer, because it looks like it is somehow tricky, right? But it's not tricky. It is a direct question which needs a direct answer. Now, you have seen Camto. You listen to Camto's own proposal. Camto says he will do everything to be in the same one and indivisible Cameroon. But you listen to Barrister Ashu talk, you see a man who knows the reality on the ground. You see, Barrister Ashu is talking about discussion of the topics that Atanga Jipo, Pobia, and the rest, they said it was a taboo. He's talking about those topics being put on the table, and they will discuss the problems. And definitely they will come to a permanent political solution. And he's talking about going back to 1961. Somehow, we don't know how far or what actually is in his mind, like an outcome, or maybe giving back the people their right to self-determination. You see, Barrister Ashu, even though some of you do not agree with some of the things that he says, I think he is a level-headed somebody who is going towards the direction that will bring a permanent political solution. These are the kind of people we need to talk about, not the likes of Abobala, who will tell you about federation. It is very fair enough to allow the people decide their future. That is it. In every society, in the developed world, they will tell you that allow the people decide their future. Barrister Ashu is going to a direction. Well, I'm not a fanatic of La République du Cameroon politics or things like that, but I think Ambazonians need to know these things because it shapes our reasoning and it makes us look at other people with a wider perspective. Barrister Ashu has said his own. We've heard the way Camto has said his own. We know those who can come closer to the solution. But all of us know that the solution to this problem is revisiting our conditions for coming together. We'll go back to referendum. What are you saying, bro? That is it. The day the people of Southern Cameroons will go back to referendum. Trump will not feel enough, but we already get our independent. Then he walk that one because we go vote. When we go vote, when we go vote, you know me, I say don't go stop. I'm also know. When we go vote, we'll not say this, we'll go win now. And that's also we will go decide. I hope you understand. That's also we will go decide them. You know, we'll go win now. Our election for being independent, we'll go win them. That time we'll still hold grass for them. Domo no go stop. Now that time I start hearing how a country then go recognize Ambazonia. country they go recognize we. Imagine say we dey now so be Ambazonia be united, they talk one voice. This thing for don't finish sings because we get a legit case. What matter be legit, it be clean and clear for all my face. For all my face, but no, people in the way they can't defend at their group. People in the way they can't defend at their leader. Instead of defend the struggle. Una fit imagine. So now the thing they know we talk am. Thank you, Barrister Ashu. Thank you very much for what way you talk. It makes sense. I think say it makes sense. If we go for that direction, we will leave and meet the people and decide their future. Then good and fine. You never me say we are talking about the root cause of the problem. My fellow Ambazonians, I talk on your mind. If I not talk your mind, make a man know wait waiting for comment section. Thank you very much, and I wish you an excellent time.